All right, Mac, pay attention, because today we're going to be doing some steaks. You asked for it, so you're going to get it. So the first thing we're going to do, we'll put that right there. So we'll put that in him, along with that one. And that one, and we'll make it 4 even. There we go. All right, you wanted steak? Let's do steak. Perfect. All right, here's what we're going to be doing. All right, so here's what we got today. We got 2 3/4 pound New York strip steaks. Now, they don't look like much, but they cook up really nice. So here's what we're going to do. I use, for this recipe, some of this pesto flavored olive oil. We're just going to take a little bit of it, and we're going to drizzle it right here on the steaks. Now, a key thing, Matt, when you're cooking steaks is to let them stand at room temperature for about 15 to 30 minutes before you cook them. You want them about to room temperature when you put them on the grill. What this does is it allows them to sear on the outside and cook even on the inside. If a cold steak goes onto the grill, what you're going to end up doing is kind of only half sear. That cold is going to protect it from searing. Searing is what locks in all that flavor and moisture that we want in our steak. And we don't want that searing to go wrong. So, when you put a cold steak on the grill, you're essentially setting yourself up for failure. You want it about at room temperature when it goes onto that hot grill. So, next thing we're going to do, and I'm almost out, we're going to salt them. And we're going to pepper them. And I like to give them a generous helping of both. And that's really all the seasoning that we need to put on them. So now we just flip them over and do the same thing, and we'll check back in when they're ready to go on the grill while they're room temperature. So let them stand about 15 to 30 minutes. All right, Matt, so we out here, we got our steaks, we got our whiskey. We got our grill heated up to about a little over 500 degrees. That's okay. We're going to lose some heat, but I like it to be between 450 and 500. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to toss these steaks onto that hot grill. We're going to let them set in there under a closed lid for 3 to 4 minutes. Then we're going to flip them. After we flip them, I'm going to add on the top of them this Parmesan basil mixture that I have made. We're going to let them sit in there for another 3 to 5 minutes while that Parmesan cheese melts. Then we're going to pull them off and let them rest for 5 minutes before adding a butter garlic mixture over the top of them. And we will check back in when we're ready to flip them. So we're going to open this up. I've already brushed our grill grates off. Here's one. And here's 2. And we'll check back in about 3 to 4 minutes when they're ready to get flipped. Alright, so here we are. We're about at the 3.5 minute mark, which is just as good a time as any to go ahead and flip them over and give them the cheese. You can see our needle kind of recovered back to 500 degrees. Let's take a look at how they're doing. Oh, get away, fire. I ain't cleaned my flavorizer bars off properly. But look at those lines. That's about what we're looking for. So now we're just going to be careful here because I didn't make quite enough of this stuff. So I didn't have enough Parmesan cheese. But we're just going to give them a good layering of Parmesan basil mixture that I made earlier. Alright, and now when we close this again, this Parmesan cheese will start to melt nice and slow for us right over the top of our steaks. So now we're going to give them 3 to 4 minutes on that side, and then when they're ready to come off, we'll let them rest for 5 minutes and they'll be ready to serve. And I'll check back in with you when that's ready to happen. Well, Matt, the grill's back up to 500 degrees, and judging by the state of things here, I'd say it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. Now it definitely has. So let's take a look at how they're doing. Alright, now that's what we're looking for. Now we got a good melt going on. Look out, fire. Get away. We got a good melt going on with our cheese. So before we take them off, we're going to give them a little measuring to make sure that we're up to a safe temperature. And there we are. Perfect. Alright. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the stop button. Safe internal temperature for beef, if you want medium rare, is about 145 degrees, which we have just about hit here. Ooh, look out, fire. Let me just measure this one real quick, just so I know. He's getting on up there. He's trying to get to 145. Can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? And he made it. Alright, 145 on the dot. I like it. I like mine a little more on the rare side. If you want them a little bit more well done, let them get up to the 150s and the 160s. Now we're going to let these rest for about 5 minutes before we pour our melted butter and garlic mixture on them, which I've already made inside, and I'll take you in there and we'll have a look at it. So let's go inside and take a look. Alright, Matt, so here's what I've done, and I kind of made a mess while I was doing it. So what we've got here is some finely minced garlic and some unsalted butter, about a quarter of a stick. And what we're just going to do is we're just going to take some of this while it's still warm and just kind of spoon it over our steaks here. And I kind of spilled a little bit, so that's why there's not as much as there should be, but that's okay. We're just going to get that butter layer right there on top of the steaks with those bits of minced garlic, and then we're going to serve it warm. And that's how you do it, Matt. Well, this is a fairly simple way of cooking steaks, and it doesn't even have to be this complicated with the Parmesan cheese and whatnot. You can make a good, honest steak with just salt and pepper. Just remember, keep it at room temperature before you put it on the grill. Cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes on one side. Flip it. Cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes on the other side. And this is all over a direct high heat, so 450 to 550, somewhere in that range. Let them rest for about 5 minutes to finish cooking completely, and then serve them warm. That's all there is to it. Steaks are so easy. People kind of stress over them, but because they are easy to mess up. But if you do them right, you learn how to do them right every single time. And that is really about as simple as you can make it when you're grilling. In any case, I hope you learned something, Matt, and I'll see you next time.